Can y'all hear me now? Hello? Let me know, can y'all hear me now? Okay. It's been one of them weeks, y'all. Okay. Awesome sauce. Okay, so let's just start out. Let's start out with Summer and the BK deal and the phone. I've heard, while I've been stuck in the bed, feel like crud, I've watched everything and heard everybody's arguments back and forth. It's one of two phones. Well, we'll say one of three. One is it's one we've never heard about before and nobody ever knew anything about. Two, it's the original phone that they had that the police took and they said they'd give back. Or three, it's the ones they went to the AT&T store and bought after the police took them. Period. And unless it's one that nobody ever knew about before, including the police, what would be on it that the cops would need to see is my question. Or what would be on it that they haven't already downloaded and seen. I just feel that it's more smoke and mirrors. Or are we seeing what the whole end game was that we've been asking all along? Somebody gives information to the authorities that leads in information that results in some are either being found one way or another and somebody being charged and somebody collecting the reward money. See, that's another way to look at it. There's multiple ways to look at everything that's going on. Multiple ways. One way is to say that Benny's seen the light and angels came down and sang. Another way is to say he was just playing a role all along. I think you're right, wee Scottish Ma. I think you are right. I think you are right that they, whoever they are bringing it to an end. I know, right, Kathy? But is the whole phone thing and the whole fight between Candace and Benny and Ernie in the picture and Tim Mullins in the picture, is all that just another form of smoke and mirrors and distraction and reaction? Because you know Sheriff Lawson's comment keeps getting brought up by everybody. Everybody. I'm with you, wee Scottish Ma. I'm sitting back and I'm watching, and timing is so convenient. You know, is it Einstein that said every action has an equal and opposite reaction? I think that's what we're seeing, is equal and opposite reactions to specific actions. That's what I think we're seeing right now. That's my opinion from sitting back and observing, because I've been stuck in this stupid bed feeling like crud, and I'm sneaking on live with y'all. I do too, Tama, I really do. Exactly, Kathy. I agree with you. The authorities, if they didn't know about the phone the instant it was reported, they wouldn't be all these YouTube videos coming out about it days later. And it's still not been turned in. It's too script perfect. That's what I keep saying. I went the past few days, I went back to the beginnings. And Lisa, you may be right as well. I just do find the timing suspect. Because let me iterate what I keep trying to knock me off. I do think Summer is possibly still alive. Yep, I think so, Smiley. I think all that is playing a part in what we're seeing. What I believe, and I may turn out to be wrong, but in my opinion, Ronnie Lawson came out and said that the parents weren't cooperating and that they had lawyered up. Then Jose comes forward and speaks, paints himself to be a martyr, Candace to be a victim, Kathy, they sure did. You're right about that too. But then Jose comes out and speaks. Of course, he paints himself to be a martyr, Don to be the devil incarnate, Candace to be a victim turned devil. Grandma is still a hazy shade of gray. He doesn't talk good about his friends that he came from New York with. Still nobody gives a decent explanation that makes sense, because you could still be in Kingsport and drive like 20 minutes off the main drag and get a motel room during the races. I know this. I was there the next, for Summer's Vigil during race time when we were there. And it was difficult to get rooms. I agree, Debbie Z. But as of late, BK's not been working by himself. Just saying, y'all. I just wonder why in the calls that he released, do y'all keep hearing him asking, did Cam do this? Did Cam do that? Did Cam say this? Did Cam say that? Why is that? Why is that? There's no think of who he's working with. I mean, it's who's been on his channel? Who's he been sharing panels with consistently? Well, I ain't clever for no reward money. I'm just trying to come up with medicine money at the moment. It is true, the year's up soon, Sassy. I mean, think about it. Oh, I don't know where they've been. Oh, God, y'all, I feel like crud. That's right, Lisa, none of them will. I agree with you. I don't know, Smiley. Listen, I can't even front. The Tim guy creeps me out. I know, Twister, sometimes you gotta step back, you know. I had to lay down, not just step back, but lay down. The Tim guy has always been, just creep me out. Like, creepy creeperton status. Anybody that doesn't like that, I say that, I don't know what to say, because it just is what it is. Something's off about him. Right, Smiley, he never knew Summer. Something is just off about him. Period. Period. To me, in my opinion. Okay, so that's not working. It has, Lisa, thank you. It has. It very much so has. And I don't put anything past anybody right now out there at all. Melissa, I guess the same reason that Cam and Allie need a manager. Morning, Blue Willow. I mean, am I wrong about that? Isn't it odd that they're MIA at this moment in time? I don't know why it's not working. Sorry, y'all. I'm just having technical out. Yeah, it's kind of weird that it's like a Ferris wheel turning around and round, ain't it? And running. Oh, I know, right? I'm about to mute and play a poem. It's called 1491s. So because y'all, I gotta cough and blow my nose and breathe. And if anybody's able to help, I just need, like, I think it's $62 and some change to be able to get my inhaler and the steroids I need. Just to say that. Trying to get this to there. Wow, I didn't know that they did that. I don't really follow them, so. They had some big interview that everybody was talking about, and that's really the last I remember seeing of them. Let's see. I gotta share my screen. Before I share that, let me share this. Everybody keeps asking, when is the grand jury meeting? This is from the Rogersville Review. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Is it not going to let me? Okay, hold on just a second. Let me let it get. Good morning, Miss Rhonda. This was in the Rogersville Review. Just to let y'all know. It says Randall L. Collier, Circuit Court Clerk, Hawkins County Justice Center, Rogersville, Tennessee, 37857 notice. It is the duty of your grand jurors to investigate any public offense which they know or have reason to believe has been committed, and which is triable or indictable in this county. Any person having knowledge or proof that such an offense has been committed may apply to testify before the grand jury, subject to the provisions of Tennessee Code Annotated Section 40-12-105. The foreman in this county is presently Mike Reeves, Rogersville, Tennessee. The grand jury will next meet on, boom, everybody been asking that question. Here is your answer. The grand jury will next meet on Monday, April the 11th, 2022 at 9 a.m. Told y'all, I had a feeling in my soul that my birthday was D-Day for summer. April the 11th is my birthday. I'm just saying. Woosah. Okay. You may be prosecuted for perjury or any oral or written statement which you make under oath to the grand jury when you know the statement to be false, and when the statement touches on a matter material to the point in question. Says Jody Evans, Deputy Clerk, Criminal Court. It was published 3/19/2022. Just for those that's been asking. So, everybody that's wondering when is the grand jury meeting in Hawkins County, there's your answer. Just saying. Alright, guys, I'm still not feeling good. Like I said, I haven't got all my meds yet, so thank you, guys. I just looked at my phone. I don't need anything. I got sent enough to get my medicine. Thank you so much. This live is over. I'll wake Lacey up. And thank you. I appreciate it, Blue Willow. You and I want to say the right screen name. Smiley have made sure I got enough to get my medicine. I thank you so much. But I want to talk about MMIW. Let's see.
To the Indigenous woman, I'm sorry we have not fought harder for you. For the woman and her baby left for dead by the police in her home while they gave a ride to her attacker back to his house. To the girlfriend punched in her pregnant stomach. To the wife who took the beatings so her kids wouldn't have to. To the daughter who found a man as abusive as her dad. To the co-ed who will never go to the 9 again. To the restraining order as strong as the paper it's made from, and to the shelter with not enough beds. I give 1,000 sweats for rape victims, 1,000 doctorings for husbands, 1,000 prayer ties for courage, 1,000 meetings for silence, 1,000 songs for patience, and 1,000 fires or enough light to fill a room. To reflect off a mirror the size of the moon, just so we can see ourselves for what we are. Complicit. So I dare you to protect them, Mr. President. I dare you to make laws for them, Senator and Representatives. I dare you to try to stop me, tribal leaders. I dare you to go look for me, police officer. For every 1,000 Native women in your district, 330 of them will be sexually assaulted.
I've been talking. Sorry. I'm having to completely stop the stream and talk in between. The link to that and every other video that I'm going to show today that I have lined up is in the description. You don't gotta worry, Mr. Rhonda. I already got Patty and High on Lullabies. I have said I met Cam and Allie in person at the vigil. Never once said that I liked nor disliked them. I'm not giving an opinion. I said to Callie that Allie was a very nice, pretty young lady. Very well spoken. Very humble. I didn't get a whole lot of time to talk to Cam because our conversation was interrupted and he dipped to go talk to Chase, who he seemed really close to. That's pretty much all I know about that. The next video, let's see, is a St. Mary's documentary. By the way, it's Bear Image Production. The link is in the description for this video. Please, they only got 350 subs, you guys. Go over there and sub them up and give them the thumbs up. Even if they hit me with the copyright, still do it.
The documentary you are about to experience includes mature and disturbing subject matter and may not be appropriate for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
We call it genocide because of what happened to us when we were babies.
As children, that's what we did. We disappeared. We left. We left our bodies. We lived in our minds. We thought about our families, our brothers, our sisters, our grandmothers, back home, stuff like that. That's where we were. That's how I made it. That's how I survived.
I tell kids that we do live in one of the best countries in the world, but it hasn't always been the best for First Nations people.
There's memories that I have, and that structure, that foundation out there beside the bell, First Nations people, kids live on the end of this thing, right from the moment they woke up until the last moment before they went to bed.
As we got older, you got the physical abuse, and then you got the sexual abuse. Sexual abuse probably started the day you entered into that residential school system till the day you graduated out of it.
These three gentlemen have changed my thinking and my lens in which I view the world. I was struck with what they had said and the strength at which they shared their stories. We are now moving towards reconciliation, true reconciliation and mission today. This is actually what I find is the most compelling to talk about. A lot of people are aware of these now, residential schools, the effect that it has. I realize that this is why I had my job now as a youth care worker. The impact of this is intergenerational.
I had a life from being born to maybe 7 years old when I was taken away from my mom and dad. That was basically the only love that I remember in my life. And then when I was taken away, it was the beginning of hell. I'm telling you, it was hell. Because down in this old school underneath the grotto here, it was pure discipline, like Brother Joe says, with the strap. We lived with the strap the moment we opened our eyes in the morning until we went back to the same bed. And then you would go into nightmares about what you seen during that day.
I remember kids getting wailed on because they went to bed. Well, the guy that was supposed to be looking after us, he was an ugly brother. He used to come out of his room, shaking a bell, waking everybody up, and swinging this back and forth. We had probably 150 boys up on the top of the dormitory. And he'd go up and down the aisle of every row of beds and throwing blankets back, finding kids that went to bed. And when he did find them, they did 25 of these on the hands every morning. It became routine for many of them.
That was the kind of ugliness that we learned as a child. Children, to grow up like this was seriously uncalled for by our people.
My residential school experience started as a 6-year-old. I was 6 years old, going on 7. And all my brothers and sisters, nieces, nephews, all my cousins, they all went. Mothers, fathers, you name it, we were all splashed by the same blood. I read a caption somewhere last week that says, residential school, the gift that keeps on giving, and that's true. We've heard so many stories that kind of validate that. A lot of stories in my family, and we struggle with pain, we struggle without the skills to be healthy and happy.
The worst part of these schools, and a lot of teachers are uncomfortable talking about this, the worst part of these schools is that the boys' dormitory was on one side of the campus and the girls were on the other side. 2 nuns watched the girls' dormitory overnight, and 1 priest watched the boys. My dad said the worst part of this was that no one watched what the priest was doing, and at night he'd go into the aisles of beds in the boys' dormitory, remove a child, bring him to a separate room in the school, and sexually abuse them. Graphic. And my dad, when this first happened, he was 6 years old. And the first thing most kids do is they get scared and they cry. My dad did that. But you can only cry for so long. What he did next, he tried to run away. Well, it worked. He ran away. He snuck out at night, made it all the way back home. But when he got home, there was an Indian agent waiting at his house. What happens is the government hires someone called an Indian agent to work on the reserve, and those are the people who bring the children to the schools. And if some child runs away from the school, the principal of the residential school calls the reserve, the band office talks to an Indian agent, and the Indian agent then brings the child back to the school. And if they can't find the child, they call the police. Eventually, they would find you if you ran away. So my dad was brought back to the school, even after trying to run away. And as he got older, the abuse got worse. And he started to get angry. Really angry. He actually tried to burn the school down. A lot of kids tried to burn the school down. He fought. But when they rebuilt the school, and he kept getting punished for his fights, he started to shut down. He started to give up. And he didn't kill himself, but he did the one thing just short of that. He put this little bubble around him, this imaginary bubble where he'd just sit inside and he'd be angry and he'd hate and he'd fight. And if anybody came into that little bubble, he'd hit them really hard. The way he was taught was when someone's a problem, the way to solve it, you hit it as hard as you can.
And my parents, they had no choice, because they would tell my mom and dad, we had 14 in our family, and the Indian agent would come to our house and tell my mom and dad, if you do not let us take your children away from you to go to Indian residential school, you too are going to jail. When this residential school started at the bottom of the hill is where our people, the Stolo Nation, used to live by the river. It was just a stopover from people traveling up and down the Fraser River by canoe, going down shopping or going down to trade. And then the Catholic system came in and took over.
My grandmother was one of the first ones that went to Christine's residential school. The physical plant had a lot to be desired. There's nothing like this building. There wasn't a drop of insulation in the place. Central heating was mediocre. Hot water, sometimes you saw it twice a week. Food was terrible. The food you got was mush in the morning, a piece of bread and a piece of jam, and that kept you till lunchtime or dinner time. Lunchtime and dinner time, you were served usually green bologna, green hot dogs, mustard, Spam. Maybe you got Spam. Spam didn't go bad because it was in a can, but you got to like mustard real quick. So your diet at best was something to keep you alive. I remember as a child, that stuff smelled bad, tasted bad. It'd take you a couple of days, but after a while you ate it. You knew you had to eat it. So you were going to die of starvation. You were dying of pain. You were dying of loneliness, isolation. You had nothing. You had no medical. You were given maybe an aspirin if you had a headache. Anybody got sick? Everybody got sick in that whole dorm. And there was one nun, and she was our infirmary, and she just basically patched us up, gave us a Band-Aid, and told us not to kill ourselves. And that was the extent of our medical. So medical, food, mediocre at best.
Every morning we had to get up and go down into the shower, and over there in that foundation, the shower was way down in the bottom in the basement. And before you get into the shower, you have to step into a trough. It was about 2 feet by 2 feet. And it had a white solution in there. I don't know what it was called.
That's another documentary to check out. There's also the John Trudell documentary. I think I may have that one. Let's see. I do. I got that one queued up. Okay. We'll show that one next.
Voices catching up. Voices catching up. Watch out, child. Watch out, child. Babylon falling down. Falling down. Society a broken promise. Economies war, citizen whores. Political pimps leaving us flat on our backs. Trading today, waiting for the promised land.
First up, I'm glad to see you here, and I'm glad that I'm here. And if I say anything that you don't agree with, let's just leave it at we don't agree about it. All right?
There's no clear thought being exercised right now in the American public. They're allowing the insanity of the leaders, to make decisions, all right, that really are not in the best interest of the public. They're not in the best interest of the children of the public.
That link to that documentary is also in the description. You'll find, if you follow that link, it'll take you to where you can watch the documentary on Doc Luke's channel free of charge. Other links take you to where you have, it's a pay-per-view thing to YouTube. Where you have to, like Redbox, rent movies. Let's see. March 10th. Okay, I also wanted to talk about and touch on the extreme rise in Asian hate crimes across the U.S. as of late. I just had a few clips that I wanted to show and share, and allow everybody to comment. Anybody that wants to come up on panel, talk about summer, MMIW, and any Asian hate crimes, anything else going on in the world today that you're interested in and wanted to talk about. Or I may just cut the live stream short and go back to bed and see y'all again later this evening after I've rested. Let's go ahead.
There's a better way to make money on Amazon than selling physical products. 3 years ago, I quit my job and used.
Men are behind bars and charged with hate crimes after police say they targeted Asian women for robbery and theft. Our crime reporter Henry Lee joining us now with the latest on this investigation. Henry?
Alex, authorities say these 6 men were responsible for crimes across the Bay Area, terrorizing victims who were mostly Asian women. Surveillance video shows how a robbery crew blocked cars and stole purses belonging to Asian women sitting inside. It happened over and over.
Unfortunately, these incidents
Moving on, the 70-year-old woman who was attacked and robbed outside her home in Oakland says she's living in fear and hoping to leave Oakland. ABC 7 News reporter Dion Lim spoke to her exclusively today, a story that you'll see only on ABC 7.
How is it go inside? I don't know.
You don't know how he got inside?
Yeah. There are still so many questions. 70-year-old Li Ming Song has about what happened to her outside her senior home Saturday night when she returned from the market and was ambushed.
Yeah, we're scared. My body, the shaking.
Surveillance video I first broke the night it happened shows a man walk to Ms. Song's SUV around 7:30. As she's unloading rice, the man grabs her purse.
She said this whole
Well, YouTube has blocked that video, so I won't be showing that one. So does anybody have any other thoughts or questions? Personally, okay, my last thoughts is I feel like the sheriff made his comments, then Jose came out and made his statements, and then people had to act and react and distract. And I think we're just in the middle of a bunch more smoke and mirrors, BS, and drama that is distracting from what's actually going on. And that is, where's Summer? Where's Summer? What happened? Where's Summer? That's the only thing that I know to ask and to say. Where's Summer? I do feel like the end is really coming to a close in this case. I think the grand jury's meeting, and I think they're meeting for a reason. That didn't sound like that was some planned grand jury thing to me. Not the way that ad looked. Oh, wait a minute. I need to, I know, Smiley, it is sickening. I need to, show some information. Hold on. I've been trying to post this on the community tab section. This is a missing lady. Her name is Monisha Sheree. Her sister made this post and is looking for her. I was contacted. She was last seen around 2 p.m. on February 24th near the Floyd County Polk County line. She's a black woman around 5'7" tall and 180 pounds with short brown hair. She has her right nostril pierced and a tattoo on her left hand. She has children that are missing her as well as family. The girls are staying with their aunt. She says crying for their mom every night. And that was all that they had sent me at this point. Right. Yeah, I saw that, Kathy. I saw that about Joshua. Listen, them PIs has not done a great job. If that's their job is to investigate, it don't seem like. Just call me cray-cray. Right, bless her and her family, absolutely. Alright, guys. I'm gonna, sign off, and I will see y'all later. Try to get some more rest. Peace, love, and light.